Good evening, boys and girls. I gotta change my title here real quick, and then we'll be ready to go. This is actually reveal number 198 now. We're gonna be working on a 1955D. What is this? Fed Reserve Bank of Chicago. So this is an FRB Chicago OBW roll. OBW meaning original bank wrapped. There we go. There's our new title. Here's our roll right here. This is what we're going to be working on. And then these are our flips with the names already in the inserts to make things go a little bit faster. How's everybody doing this evening? I hope well. And here we go. Let me pop out my chat real quick so I can see what I'm doing. I got to be able to talk with you guys. And move my screen over so I can see what I'm doing over there. These things that can't be done until the show is live. I just have to figure out how to do it faster so I don't have a whole lot of seams. Okay, let me go ahead and start popping this roll open. You can see that it's sealed on both ends. It's a 1955D roll. I haven't done one of these in a little while now. I mean, as far as a original bank wrapped roll, having to pry it open. There's that end. And work on this end. And that's about all there is to it. Getting that thing open like that. Hey, Jeff Dunn. Sean Jerome. I'm doing well. I saw a comment from you earlier, and I haven't had a chance yet to respond one-on-one, so I'll just respond here. I don't generally do consignment items in my auctions. Everything I run is my own inventory. So it's pretty much just stuff I've bought. And the reason behind that is cost. By the time I take the cost out of putting together auction lots for other people and running items of theirs, the photography, the listing, the flips, the flip inserts, all the supplies needed and everything else, we're talking about probably a material cost of at least $5 into every coin. And so even if I did a 20%, a $25 coin would only break even. So it's just not worth it for me. I prefer just to do all my own stuff. So here we go. Coin number one. Coin number one goes to Mike Birchman once again. I'll get used to this eventually and I'll get it right. There we go. Goes to Mike Birchman. And here is the first coin of the roll. Let's see what we get. Just a little bit of spots, but what I'm seeing here appears promising. Let's see what we get. Let me zoom in real close because I think I saw something on the mint mark. It's a little dicey when I get this far in, but this is how close I like to come when I'm actually looking for something specific. You turn this around into the light just a little bit differently. Like that right there. Now let me get that focused. Wow, what a bummer. I thought I had found something. That doesn't look like anything. I tip it back the other way and light up the serifs real well and make sure I don't have any split serifs before I move on. No, it doesn't look like much of anything. Well, I guess that's what you get for jumping on the gun the first time around here. So, let's keep looking at the coin, see if there's anything else worth stopping for. Of course, got the circle of death on the forehead on the original coin in the roll. That's the outside coin syndrome. Comes from the counting machines when they're counting the coins and stuffing them in the rolls. Nothing there. Let's see what we have on the other side. And 1955D, I don't generally ever plan on finding much on the reverses because, well, they're just not really well known for double dies at all. That doesn't mean we're not going to find them. It just means that there's not really been any reported so far, which kind of takes a wind out of the sails of thinking that we're going to find something that's a cherry picker listed in item on the reverse. It's just not going to happen. Now, as for finding something, we can find plenty of RPMs on this. There's the double die obverse with the doubled eye. There is a, let's see, well, there's a couple of other doubled eyelids that I can remember, but there's plenty of RPMs in this particular issue. We just haven't seen anything yet. Keep looking around here. Nothing on the reverse on this one either. That takes care of coin number 2. Now coin number 3 will be going to Sureg. And Sureg will pick up, well, this is a minor RPM. Shows as a minor split upper serif anyway. Yeah, it might be too minor. Let's see what that lower serif looks like. Now we've got a split on both serifs, on the upper and the lower serif. Let's see if I can bring it down so I can show you guys the serifs on the coin. Where are we? Oh, I thought I was going to be able to show you the serifs pretty well. You can see them kinda if you look hard enough. You see the split in the lower serif anyway. That's that little gap. There's a little gap right here. That is one serif. And then the other one is right up here on the very top. So that's the best I can give you with this one. I'm not really sure it's going to be a listed one by now, but we can certainly hold out some hope. Try to find a marker on this so we can identify other examples of this particular die. Move my lighting back out of the way. And we'll see what we can do for markers. Let's see, there happens to be a nice die scratch coming up out of the vest right next to the 1. Another one dribbling down from the chin, and a heavy die dot above the 1-9. So we've got that. Pretty decent markers. There's another heavy die damage area above the T of Liberty. Let's see much else on this. Take a look at the reverse and see what happened on the reverse. Oh, wait a minute. We got a doubled eyelid. It's a minor one, but we have a doubled eyelid. Right there. That is a doubled eyelid. Comes out at the same angle as the regular eyelid. It is a nice raised area right in front of the eye. It doesn't appear like a scratch because it doesn't have a trail. Meaning a scratch would, if you scratch something, you're going to drag a trail. So it's not a die scratch. It's definitely hubbed into the die, which would have to be part of the design. So this is a doubled eyelid. So we have a doubled eyelid / repunch mint mark. Very minor, but it's there nonetheless. And our markers again, we're going to go back and look at them again so that we can remember exactly what we've got. We have a heavy die dot above the 1-9 of the date. We have this heavy little die scratch coming up from the vest next to the 1, and then we have another one dribbling down from the chin. So we know that die automatically when we look at it next time. Let's take a look at the reverse. Who knows? Maybe we have a DDO, DDR, RPM combination. To my knowledge, that only happened once in Lincoln Sense. I don't remember what the issue was, actually. I believe it was 1948S, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was in the 40s. I think it was a 48S. Some nice markers on the reverse, but nothing else. So let's go ahead and take this one out, mark it off, put it on a special place on the desk here, so I'll know to pick it up as a die variety a little bit later. And move on to coin number 4. Coin number 4 is going to go to Joe McBride. Good luck, Joe. What do we get here? This is definitely not the same die as before. And not an RPM. Well, it does have a doubled eyelid. It does appear to have a doubled eyelid. It is definitely not the same die that we just ran into. There is no RPM on this one. Come on. Different die scratches. But we do have a doubled eyelid on this one. So this one's going to go into the pile of possibles. And we keep moving around, take a look at the rest of everything on the obverse. Well, so far it appears as though I find nothing on the obverse. Let me flip it over to the reverse and see if we have anything there. Dun, 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 dun. Well, looks like I've got nothing of measurable mark on this side. Nice little die gouge popping down out of the A right there. That's going to be a good marker. It'll be something that'll help me use to identify this a little bit later, but I don't think this is the same die. I do believe we have a second die now. 2 different doubled eyelids. Now coin number 5. Coin number 5 is going to go to Robert Adams. And let me see what we have here for Robert Adams. A very late die state. That's what all that modeling, see how the front of the vest is pretty much just completely obliterated there? You've got a huge die crack running around the 9 of the date there. Huge die crack on the 1 that actually extends beyond the top and bottom of the 1. I don't see anything going on with the mint mark that is of note. We've got a very heavy amount of die transference going on here from the reverse. You can see some of the letters on the reverse, but that's not clash. It's actually die transference. Pretty much a horribly worn die. Die cracks. That doesn't at all surprise me. Very heavily worn obverse die here. Let's take a look at the reverse and see what happened on the reverse. Looks like we're reverse that was paired with that obverse. It's very late die state. Appears they probably wore together. I don't see any of the die transference issue on the reverse here, though. You don't see any of the obverse design coming through. There's a nice little die dot chip next to the C of America. No other markers. Just a very late die state coin. But it is a bright, shiny red, uncirculated one, though. And that's coin number 5. Let's take a look at coin number 6 now. Coin number 6 will go to Andrew Forbes. Let's see what we have for him. Get down here so we can see the date and mint mark. I'm seeing nothing there. Nothing appreciable in the eye either. In the eye either. Of course, that would be a place where I could slip and use the other English pronunciation of the word either. And I'm not sure whether there's any difference between the two, but I've always used either. And I think that's because of its spelling. E-I, I always pronounced I. I-E, I always pronounced E, unless it's specified otherwise. We have plenty of those. Looks like there's some spotting going on in the reverse on this one. Not the best coin. It works okay as a red uncirculated coin, but it's not brilliant, beautiful, and bold like I would like for them to be. I want you guys to get the best possible quality coins. Steel Horses comes up next, and for Steel Horses, we have that this is a minor little RPM. Or it appeared so at first, anyway. I'm guessing maybe not. I'm thinking it's a split upper serif. Just like that. And just like that. Yeah, there's a little tiny gap on the upper serif. Looks like there might be a little gap on the lower serif too. Go ahead and crank this around to there. Okay, I can see both. It takes some training though. Right here is the beginning of a split that runs right up this way. It's a little dark, but I can see it. And then here's a little split that runs right down through here. Baby split. Don't think this is going to actually be a listable RPM. But it is a minor one nonetheless. If you can... Oh, managed to talk Mr. Wexler into listing it. You'll have one. Let's see. No doubled eyelid. See, nothing else on the obverse on this one. Let's take a look at the reverse and see what happened there. I did have to take tomorrow, or, well, the other reveal I was going to do this evening was a 57D roll. I did have to take that and push it off to tomorrow because, well, the first reveal took a long time. I was a little bit late showing up for it, and it took about 20 minutes longer than it should have. Ended up running over the start time for this reveal, so I had to push this reveal back. Doing that would have me doing the last reveal at like 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night. I just can't do that. Get too tired by then. Paul Hampton. Paul Hampton gets this one, and this one is not an RPM. It's not a doubled eyelid. Not really a double die either, of any kind. And the reverse, it has about the same fate. Nothing really here. So I put Paul Hampton's coin in the holder. And move us on to the next one. Number 9 is going to Tim Morrell. Tim Morrell will get this coin. Okay, I do believe this one is an RPM. I'll have to look at it better later, but it's a very late dice date coin, which that could be flow lines coming off the D. But it appears as though it could be a repunchment mark. So what I'll do is I'll set it aside. I'll give it a good referral later. Make a judgment from there. But my thought, right at the moment, my gut says no. Not going to be an RPM. But who knows? My gut's wrong sometimes. Let's see here. Okay, so we got a pretty nice looking later die state coin, but there isn't anything on the reverse of this one either. Do we have a baby spit? I can't let you get away with that. Somebody's got to press it in. It's the same die we just looked at. So this one doesn't have anything on it either. You can tell it's the same die because we've got the same demarcations on the side of a coin or on the side of the mint mark that have a very late die state die. A very late die state reverse as well. Turns out this one might not be such a great roll. That one was going to Adam Connor. Sorry, Adam, for not actually showing your name before I showed the coin. Let me see if I can rectify that situation this time around. Adam Chambers. I use A. Connor for Adam Connor, and then I use Adam C. for Adam Chambers, just to keep them logically separated from one another. Because if I did Adam C. for both, I'd be in trouble. No RPM. No double die lid. No hub doubling on the obverse. Hub doubling would mean a doubled die. It would be doubling caused by the hubbing process, which is what causes doubled dies. And we have nothing else going on in the reverse on this one, so we're going to pop it out, put it in a flip for Adam Chambers. And move me on to the next coin. Coin number 12. Coin number 12 is going to go to Yeoman Gull. And Yeoman. Nothing there. Nothing I see around the obverse. These obverses are kind of spotty. Not the prettiest coins, I tell you. That's what you get sometimes when you get original bank wrap rolls. You just get whatever you get, and sometimes they're not the best. Couldn't have told till we opened the roll, that's for sure. Nothing going with that coin. Move us on to coin number 13. And coin number 13 will go to Steel Horses. And to get started here, coin number 13. Looks like the same issue that we've got with a bunch of other coins in this roll. It's just a very late die state. It's going to be very difficult to identify anything out of this unless it's very major. It's a part of a clash up there above the Y. You can see what's left of a C. That would be backwards and upside down. Which backwards and upside down looks forward and right side up. There's a strange looking modeling pattern going on there. It shows that we have a very, very worn out reverse die here. Alright, nothing else there. That's for Steel Horses. Now Stonecutter. Stonecutter gets the next coin, and this one is for you, Mr. Dowdle. Looks like nothing there. I'm going to flip it over and take a look at the other side. And it looks like we have a relatively normal coin here. Is everybody just mesmerized listening to me, or they just have nothing to say? I don't see anybody moving in the chat. It's like everybody either dropped out or just stopped talking. Got no questions, no answers, no nothing. Sireg comes up next. Coin number 15. All right, nothing around the mint mark. Nothing on the date. Nothing in the motto. Nothing at Liberty. You're watching. Well, I'm watching too. I'm managing to look through coins that are under a microscope 3 feet away from my face without looking through the microscope, yet looking on a screen projection while drinking coffee and narrating the show. Sometimes speaking directly to people, so I have to read the chat as well. But yeah, I'm not very coordinated. Robert Adams. Robert Adams will get the next coin here. Let's take a look and see what it is. Kind of looks interesting. Oh, I thought it might have been a south doubling, but I don't see it now, so it's probably nothing. I think that's going to match up with the doubled eyelid that did not have an RPM associated with it. We got one of those already. So I'll go ahead and put this in the flip. After I get done looking here for any other error issues, I do believe this one's going to be an extra eyelid. You're watching too, but you're drinking beer? Yeah. I never developed a taste for beer, to be honest with you. I drank an exceedingly high amount of it when I was an airman over in Germany. And I came back with a slight taste for German beer, but when I got back to the U.S. and tried the beer here, I thought it was horrible. So that kind of put an end to that. And I spent years trying to hunt down that flavor. Never could seem to find it. So I just kind of left the idea altogether. I drink once in a while, but usually I'll drink something like rum or something other than beer. I don't drink beer. Don't much like the taste of beer. So let's see. We got ourselves a very late die state coin. I think we've run into a few of these before. This one has nothing on it. And yeah, we're not going anywhere with this one. Well, let's take a look at the reverse and see if there's anything on the reverse we should be talking about, other than just a really late die state coin. And that is what we have. We have a very late die state coin. That's about it. And that's for Andrew Forbes. And that's coin number... Hang on, how did I do coin number 29? That's wild. I must have had a flip out of order. That's fine. Now, coin number 17, Eric Beyer. Coin number 16 is probably in the spot for coin number 29. Doesn't really matter one way or the other. I'll look at the reverse on this one first, just because I happen to lay it down that way. And here we go. No, Joe, they don't drink beer warm, but they don't drink it extra cold either, because there's no point. It tastes good at a cellar temperature, which is generally between 40 and 50 degrees. It's not warm. Any beer tastes horrible if it's warm. German beer tastes better when it's chilled and not cold. And we could possibly have another example of the doubled eyelid here. I'm going to stick it on the doubled eyelid pile without the RPM, because this one does not have an RPM. Let's take a look at the reverse real quick. And as it flipped over, it turned out sideways, and we'll just look at it sideways because, once again, I'm not really trying to read these coins. I don't really care what they say. I'm looking for doubling on any of the parts that stand out, any of the relief details. I'm not necessarily looking to read a book here, so it doesn't have to be right side up. All right, now for coin number 18. 18 belongs to Robert Adams. Robert Adams will get the next coin in line. And that's another late die state. A lot of later die state coins here with not much going on. And this one for Robert Adams kind of just follows along the cusp here. There's a Joe McBride. And Joe McBride coin. What are we going to get for Joe McBride here? Let me turn this around. I like my light shining into my serifs so I can see any splits in the serifs. When the serifs are on the other side in shadow, it makes them really difficult to see. So you can't really tell if they're doubled, if there's any splits in them. So when you want to look for a split, you want your light shining toward it, which right now I'd be looking at the top of the letters of Liberty for split. Doing it this way, I would be looking at the bottom letters of Liberty for a split, because the light's shining from the opposite direction. So like if I really wanted to see VDB, I'd be looking at it in this direction. I would not want to look at it like this, because you can't really see it. You want to do as little light adjustment as possible, because your lighting is pretty much your only constant when it comes to these coins, because really what you're looking at is anything different that you can find on the coins. And if you're looking for something different, having a very familiar angle of light will help you, because you will know that if something looks a little bit off, you can tell because you've seen them before. Number 20 goes to Bulldog. What do we have for Mr. Bulldog here? Yeah. Could be that double split serif RPM that we've been talking about. Roger that. Drop to flight level 200 and check for details. Not seeing it. Okay. Bank turn to the left. No. Not enough there. If it is anything, there's just not enough of it there. So going back up to flight level 150. And take a look around, see if we've got our doubled eyelid. That might be the doubled eyelid. It's not. It's not. I'm going to keep riding along. Take a look at the reverse real quick. See, this one's a much earlier reverse than I'm used to seeing in this roll, so maybe we have a change of fate. Some chance that we may have a change of fate here. Still got nothing on this coin, but at least it's a sharper reverse than what we have been seeing. Alright, let me put Bulldog's coin in the flip. And move on to coin number 21. Coin number 21 is going to go to William Cresson. Mr. Bill, this is your coin. And so far I'm not seeing much. No doubled eyelid. Don't see any doubling on that side at all. Let's see what we have going on this side. On to coin number 22. Coin number 22 is going to go to Wanda. Wanda. I wonder if she's here. Is that a normal obverse so far? Nothing on that side. Joe, are you still driving? I don't know if maybe you might be driving all night someplace. Driving down here to come give me help. All the way from Syracuse. Not still driving, okay. So you are still headed here, right? You just had to stop somewhere in Pennsylvania? There's coin number 22. Now coin number 23 is going to go to Tim Morrell. Timothy Morrell, next up in line. You see, Sherman, you've got this bad habit. You got this bad habit of when someone wants to take you out and give you a good walk so you'll get your antsiness down, you don't want to go out and walk. You'd rather eat. So then you get fed. I try to put you out again because we know you just ate. Nothing doing. Too excited. Doesn't want to go out. So then you start doing all the boring stuff like talking to somebody or watching TV or, you know, the things that entertain humans that don't entertain dogs. You found a 72D DDR number 1. I heard those were coming out of some of the dark red 72D rolls that I have. That's awesome. That's really cool. Now back to the dog now. You tend to only want to actually go outside, and you tend to only want to really bug someone to go outside when they're busy doing something that precludes them from standing up and allowing you to go outside. See? It's another one of the very late die state reverses. Totally eaten alive. Well, that was for Adam Connor there. An unfortunate find. Hello, Mr. Cresson. How are you doing this evening, sir? Oh, sharp eye for coins. Are you Cajun? Or no, you're just here from Cajuns. What we have here. Well, this one looks like it's got a little baby split on the top. Looks like it also has a little baby split on the bottom. This might be the RPM that we've been saving. If it is, it's going to have a doubled eyelid. Not the same RPM, but it does look like one nonetheless. So I'm going to put it off to the side and hang on to it. Yeah, definitely. I see this one has a double clash. You can see the double clash there. You have bits of two C's there. Oh, Cajun. A Cajun raid. Hello, Maria. Look at that. Got a little double die clash there. You can see two lines for the C instead of one line for the C. That's what that is. That happens when the two dies come clashing together against one another with no planchet between them. Nothing to strike between them. They end up transferring their designs to one another, and it turns out to be a little sharp, incuse backwards design from that side of the coin to the other. See, there's another part of it right there under his throat. And nothing else on this side of the coin. Let's take a look at the other side and see what happened on the other side. Just to let everybody know, I've got a special event coming up this Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. It's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern Time. On Tuesday, we're going to do a special auction called The Colors of Fall. Guess what it is? It's all toned coins. A lot of them NGC certified. You're going to have a couple of dozen NGC certified toned Lincoln cents. A couple of them are absolute blast beautiful coins. We're going to have a number of uncertified toned coins as well for your perusal and consideration. You want to get registered to bid if you're not registered already prior to the auction. Write this down real quick. You want to go to send an email to the address coppercoinspayments@gmail.com. It's coppercoinspayments@gmail.com. We'll get you registered. Once you're registered, bidding is absolutely free. Registration is, of course, free. And it lets us know where we can send your invoice at the end of the auction. Because if we don't have you registered, we can't send you an invoice. We can't let you bid. A 60D small date roll, and on one of them had no 6 on the date. That sounds like a greaser to me. Sounds like something plugged up the 6 in your die, and it minted the coin that way. It's kind of cool. They're neat to look at, but they don't really have a whole lot of value as such. It happens quite frequently. Details in the die get filled up, because you have to understand that in order to mint a coin with a die and put a design into the coin, you have to have cavities in the die. Cavities are sunken in areas. That's what makes the raised areas on the coin. So you can imagine all of the lettering on the dies are actually backwards and sunken into the die, so that when you mint the coin, it's going to come out forward and raised. So what we end up with here is gunk and junk stuck inside those cavities in the die. Hey, here's your coin bill. Yep, it's gunk and junk stuck into the cavities in the die that keep those letters from pressing upward when the die strikes the coin. Sometimes you'll have it on a partial letter, sometimes it'll be on a full letter, sometimes it'll be on part of the entire side of the design, and sometimes it'll be, well, pretty much the entire design. And they don't carry a whole lot of value generally unless they're very dramatic. They have to be dramatic. They have to be really covering up a lot of stuff. They have to show really well. And it's best if they show on years that you don't see it more commonly than not. Unfortunately, 60D small date is one that you do see it quite often. They minted with pretty dirty machinery that year, I guess. So there's Mr. Crussen's coin. Let's take a look at coin number 28. It's going to go to Adam Chambers. Coin number 28 for Adam Chambers. We're looking for double dies. We're looking for RPMs. We're looking for anything that carries extra value. There's a really nice clash right there. You can see part of the 1 cent from the other side of the coin right there. Take a good look at this and see if there's... That's my microscope that does that once in a while. It's the lighting on the microscope. Has a light sensor on it. Has an auto adjust on the light sensor. Every time I hit over a bump that shines back at me, it tries to readjust on the fly. When it tries that readjustment on the fly, it turns stark white, and then it comes back to the dark. Okay, nothing on that side for now. The week after the 20th, it's going to be the 27th. You guys can keep track of this by the Copper Coins channel on Facebook. It's facebook.com/ and then spell it out in words, coppercoins.com. It's coppercoins.com. And you'll find our Facebook page. We'll be advertising this stuff on Facebook. So you don't have to remember it. It's not a memory game. This is for Stonecutter here. I'm trying to get it turned around the right direction. There we go. This one's going to be a minor RPM too. No, minor RPM on the top, I believe. And the sale on the 27th is going to be our Oktoberfest. Our Oktoberfest is going to be coins and cocktails. I'll have myself a little adult beverage up here, and we'll sit and kind of chew the fat a little bit, but we'll also have an auction. And the auction is going to be for some stupendous stuff. We're talking about BU and Gem BU early Lincolns. We're going to be talking about 2, not 1, but 2 1909S VDB Lincolns. I've got a couple of 1914Ds. I've got a 1909S. Got a number of the tougher coins to come by. I've even got a couple of the really nice die varieties in very tough grade. We'll be doing a reserve auction. Everything will start at a very low price to get you started on the bidding, but we'll have a little bit of a reserve on some of the stuff because we can't take too much of a bath in selling stuff too cheap. I also happen to have a 1912S RPM number 1 in this sale. It's uncirculated. 1912S RPM number 1 in a choice uncirculated. The chin of number 29? The chin. Okay, I'll go back and I'll take a look at it. Note to self, grab coin number 29 when we get finished here and go back and take a look at it. It's actually probably going to have a flip insert number 16. Or was it? It's part of a clash right there. It's the back of the neck area. All right. Let's see what we're talking about here. Yeah, it was coin number 16 was the one that came out before 30 because 29 came out when 16 happened. So we're pretty much just the opposite here. We talking about this? This coin? Is it that that thing on the bottom of the chin? That looks like part of the clash. Yeah, it's if anything, it's a little bit of a die chip, but I kind of doubt that. I think it has to do more with the clash that's happening on that particular die. A little bit of damage to the die. That's kind of cool. All right, let's take a look at coin number 32 now. Coin number 32 is going to go to Son of a Silver Stacker. Trying to get my lighting set right here. I know I'm killing you, but this is better. Actually, it'd be better if I just did this. Hang on a second. All right. Microscope isn't playing nice with me tonight. It's kind of doing its own thing. Yeah, it might work better. This takes being smarter than the scope. Yeah, it's much better. I have different settings for live viewing than when I do photography on this. It took me a while to get all this straight, figure it all out. There's a greaser for you. A little bit of a grease-filled die area. Got a big old button of gunk on there, and it kept the metal from striking up on the coin because the recess of the die where that letter was completely filled up with stuff. Spike Ted Die Crack, you have a great night, sir. Now number 33 goes to Eric Beyer. Let's see what we got on Eric Beyer's coin. I got a nothing. I'd love to have a really high quality roll right now to go through. Okay, so I have another issue. I'll ask you guys in here right now, and you guys can vote and tell me what you think. We're not going to do anything official. It's just kind of a, hey, you know, this is what I think you should do. But here's what I ran into. I ran into a few rolls of 1961D. That came in those tubes that you can't open. You have to basically torch them to open them. And I took a look at the tubes and looked on each end, and there are RPMs, really nice RPMs, in this tube of coins. The problem is, I can't really do a reveal on these things and open the tube live. Well, because those tubes take about 10 to 15 minutes with a lot of heat and gloves and a lot of patience to get open. So my only choice really is if I were to do a reveal on one of these rolls and get you guys those RPMs, I'm going to have to use my torch to clean, or to open, the tube to get the coins out. Once I get the coins out, I can dump them into a different tube and we can reveal based on that as if it were the original tube. What are your thoughts on that? You know I won't be looking at the coins or removing any of the coins or changing any of the coins out because, well, it's going to be the exact coins that came out of the tube. And it's going to be one of those things where you just have to trust me, I think. Now, I've got a specific way I do the tube. I've got a specific way I open the tube that doesn't involve a Dremel tool, no saws, no knives, no scissors, no sharp instruments at all. It doesn't damage the coins at all, and there's no chance of damaging the coins. but I have to open the tube. I have to open the coins out of the tube without you guys seeing it. So I basically, what I'm bringing to the table is a tube of coins that came out of one tube, went into another tube for the reveal. Because I'm pretty sure the coins inside the tube are pretty nice. I mean, I can only see the top coin and the bottom coin. But yeah, I'll just level with you. I got a few rolls of them, went through a few rolls of them just looking at the top and bottom of the tubes without opening anything. And there's RPMs on the tops and bottoms of a couple of these. So that tells me that our chances of finding RPMs are probably going to be close to 25 in the roll. Which means there's some likelihood that half of everyone who gets involved in these rolls will be able to get an RPM out of them. Here's coin number 35 going to Farm Dog. Well, I like those kind of tubed rolls too, because after I learned how to really take those out of the tubes, I started working with them and started finding some outstanding coins. Absolutely outstanding, high grade coins. Stuff I'm sending to NGC, believe it or not. I've got a submission sitting here on my desk ready to go to NGC that's full of early memorials. Yeah, I don't like using water around my coins either unless they're already circulated. Uncirculated coins, I don't like using any kind of water. Not good for them. Not even if you pat it dry right there, you still have created some environmental change to the surface of the coin that could allow it to change colors worse later. I'm going to take a little break right here. I'm going to show you this coin. This will be the last time this comes out of the flip before I actually turn it in. I just let it slide out of the flip here real quick, and I'm going to show it to you. Maybe this isn't the same one. If it is, it's starting to change already. Let me see. It's not the right coin. I don't know what this one is. Let's see what it says on the other side here. Oh, it's a toner. That's what it is. I thought for a second that was the one I was going to turn in. I'm like, wait a minute. This thing sure developed a shitload of spots over the last week. I didn't say that. Here we go. This is the coin. This is the one. Look at this thing. Look at that. My Gersh. We have a perfect strike. We have, oh, very few little tiny marks. Now let's take a look at the obverse. This is the really good part here. Look at that. Oh, look how perfect that is. Yeah, sure, there's a couple of little tiny flecks in the color on the coin. There's not a damn mark on the coin for you to downgrade it. This is a 67. This has got to be a 67. If there is such a thing as a 67, here it is. Sharp eye for coins. No, that's not how it works. Here's how it works. What we're doing right now is an original roll reveal, as indicated by the title in the top right corner of the screen. What I do on original roll reveals is I sell an original roll. Say, for instance, this right here is the next one I'll be doing. This one comes up a little bit later in this week. This is a American Trust Company, San Francisco, California. It's an original roll of 1957D Lincoln cents. So I've already sold the 50 spots in this roll. So I've already sold all 50 coins in this roll at a price. And then I will open the roll, go through the roll live on camera. When I go through the roll live on camera, as I'm doing with this roll right here, here's the coins, and then there's the flips. I go through them one by one and show you guys defects, RPMs, double dies, errors, or anything else that we need to discuss with them so that you understand exactly what is on the coin. Did you guys see that? The beautiful 1960D. Oh my gosh. That came out of one of those tubes. It's really hard to get open. So I have total trust in those tubes now because they hold those coins in there so tightly. No environmental damage can get to them. Okay, let me bring this back up here. So when I sell the coins in this roll, and then I go through the roll and show you what's up with the coins, I happen to be the owner and the photographer for coppercoins.com. So if you have a coin that turns out to be nicer than what I already had listed on the website, or you have a coin that happens to be a new die, here's another one of the double eyelids. There you can see that extra spot down below the upper eyelid. So this is a double eyelid, double die. So if you happen to have a coin that I can use in photography for the website, then I will use it. And I will publish the photos of your coin. And I will change the flip insert on your coin. Right now, it just has a person's name on one side and it has a number on the other side. What I'll end up doing is creating a flip insert for that, which will show your coin as a plate coin for the website. Plate coin meaning the coin that was used in photography for the website. I think I have a plate coin right here. So here was a plate coin that I did. Oops, get it right side up. So I've got 54D 1mm 025. I've got a Copper Coins plate coin on there. I've got some information down at the bottom that tells me where it came from. But then I signed the flip insert. And I hand sign all of the flip inserts for the plate coins. That way when you turn this in to ANAX, they will holder that coin as a plate coin. Tends to work out, I think, to the benefit of the collector. There's one for Yo Man. And we get, on average, we get about average of what you would expect to get when you're doing roll hunting, because the rolls that I get are all original source rolls. They're not the put together junk that you find people selling on eBay or whatnot. They're actually pretty decent rolls, and I trust the people that I buy them from, and I check over them to make sure that they are not previously opened or previously messed with. The tubed rolls I kind of pour out in my hand to make sure that there's not any crispy critters in them. Make sure the coins are all at least in pretty decent shape. But about 95% of the time, I have absolutely no idea what's going to be in the roll before I open it. The 5% of the time that I do, I tell you that, well, this came from a group of X number of rolls, and I opened one of the other rolls, and it had all of this and this and this in it. So the assumption is being made that this roll probably has that same stuff in it because they came from the same source. And what do you know? Usually when we open them up, they do have that. I did a roll of 1936S one time. Came with another roll of 1936S that was stuffed full of RPM number 1. Guess what? The second roll stuffed full of RPM number 1 as well. They came from the same source. Techstar gets himself an RPM here, I do believe. Yeah, it's going to be one of the minor ones. One of the little minor RPMs. I think this is the one that has the double eyelid. Nope. No double eyelid, but it appears we do have an RPM for me to go through and take a look at. And take a look at the other side. Yeah, I'm not sure whether Sharp Eye, you really know me or know my resource. My resource is coppercoins.com. I've been working on it since 1999. Actually, I've been working on it since 1997, but it's been called Coppercoins since 1999. It currently has just over 25,000 different photographs of markers and attributes of all of the different RPMs and double dies of the Lincoln Cent series. It is the largest reference website of its type in the world, and it has currently about 21 years of work put into it by about a dozen different people. And it is pretty much my life's work. It is what I do. Did I hit your Cointech star? Now you're ready to walk around for a little while? Yeah. I appreciate you being patient, buddy. Can only do these things so fast. I usually catch most things on these coins as I'm going through these rolls, which is something more than a lot of other people are going to do because, well, I've been doing it for so long, I don't miss this stuff very often. As I generally look at most everything that you should be looking at when you look at these coins. So if I don't find anything on these, it's very likely nobody will. But to add to that, after I go through the roll the first time and I do this on camera and show you guys your coins as they come out of the roll, I end up going back through all the flips again and I re-separate those flips to be sure that I haven't missed anything. Sometimes I did the first time around, so I pull it out the second time around. I evaluate every coin. I go through and I attribute every coin. And the ones that I need photographs of, I'll pick the best one out of the roll and I'll photograph it, and it'll become a plate coin of copper coins. You're going to end up owning a plate coin of copper coins. I personally think that's a pretty decent deal, because there's a lot of work and a lot of time put into this. A lot of people right now are receiving packages, or they have received packages within the last week that have, some people had up to a dozen or even more than a dozen different coins in there that had been attributed as die varieties. That's kind of big because, a lot of times when you buy on eBay or other places, you're going to find tubes of coins or rolls of coins that you're going to be able to go through, and you're going to find a whole lot of minor RPMs and whatnot, but you're not going to have a clue what they are. And it's going to take you hours, if not days, to go through and actually attribute them and find exactly what die it was, if you do that at all. And frankly, when it comes to die varieties of that type, where you got minor RPMs or whatnot, see, this is an RPM right here. You can see it on the top serif. Let me back it in a little bit more. Focus in a little bit more. So you can see it on the top right here, right there. That's an extra serif up there. And then down here, I think there's an extra serif that you could see in this area. How you guys like my microscope? Isn't that cool, huh? All right, let me back out again. So I can back out all the way to here. I got a really wide range. Everything's manual on this microscope, though. It's not an electronic microscope, so I have to do all the focusing with a knob and me eyeballs. I think this is an RPM. I'm going to hold it off to the side. I'm going to check it later when I have a better chance to look at it with the proper angle of lighting and two eyes looking through the microscope rather than one camera. I've got a lot of markers on this little guy right here. These little die scratches out in front of the bridge of the nose. They're going to help me identify if there's any other coins in this particular roll that matched this one for what die minted it. So I will be able to get more examples of coins minted by the same die to be sure that I can properly attribute what went on. Yeah, I have a lot of people asking me, how come I don't do nickels and dimes and quarters and oh my? And I got a really good answer for that. KFC is some of the best chicken I've ever had. I love KFC chicken. I really, really do like it. It's very good stuff. I think probably what makes KFC chicken so much better is that I've been eating KFC chicken since I was a little kid, and I don't think it's changed. I think it tastes just about exactly like it did back in the early 70s. Well, I think part of that is because KFC, they do chicken. That's about it. They're not trying to sell you fish sandwiches. They're not trying to sell you burgers. They do chicken. Good chicken. Well, that's what I want to be. I want to be that guy who does the Lincoln Cents, and I do it right. And I do it so well that I'm the guy to come to when it comes to Lincoln Cents. Your Stonecutter again. Stonecutter on coin number 42. And so that, folks, is where you get what I call the penny whisperer treatment. Having somebody who really knows what they're doing in one thing alone. It's like, you get your guys who like to do toning on Morgan dollars, and that's all they do, toning on Morgan dollars. Time does equal money unless you're just doing it as a hobby. If you're only doing it for the fun of doing it, you don't count the time as money anyway. I mean, you don't go hiking in the woods thinking that you're going to make money on it. And if you like hiking in the woods and it's a good stress relief and makes you feel good, get you exercise, I think that in itself is worth the effort doing it. That's kind of like what we do when we coin roll hunt. I don't coin roll hunt as much as I used to, and the reason I don't do it as much as I used to is because, well, folks, let's face it, I sell pennies for a living. Given that I sell pennies for a living, I have to hump pretty hard to make sure that that income keeps rolling in. Because I need that income to make my house payment and such. I'm not independently wealthy. Here, as I go through a cheesy, kind of icky looking roll, we're talking about me selling high quality coins. What an oxymoron. This roll did not turn out to be one of the better rolls that I've done. I have done a whole lot of very nice rolls. Did a 70S proof roll one time, came up with 2 small dates. Guys got them for, I think, $3 a coin. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff. There's a doubled eyelid for you. Now see, I'm going to say with a few people in here anyway, if you had hunted through this same roll, you wouldn't have found these doubled eyelids. And you probably wouldn't have been able to attribute them easily if you did find them. So this gives you a chance to own a true Class 4 doubled die. I think they paid $3 a piece for these coins. So here's a $3 coin that Mr. Havoc, Ryan Havoc, will get, which is a doubled die. Hey, Sherm, cut it out. He gets where all he does is lick and lick and lick and lick, and he won't stop until you tell him to. So relax, dude. Chillax, man. Ain't going nowhere if you lick it to death. All right, coin number 45 now. Well, and that is another small part of it. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for a long time. Handing me a roll of coins to go through for you and paying me to do it is a pretty good benefit. If anything's going to come out of that roll, you're probably not going to be missing it at the end of the hunt. Whereas you never know if you might skip something really good, thinking that you're looking for something else and don't check the reverse on a 1982 Lincoln Cent. You may skip over a $7,000 coin you didn't realize you had. It's very easy to skip over the good stuff because you're looking for things specific. You've got tunnel vision on the 1983 double die reverse, and you skip over the obverse on the 1983s, thinking that the reverse is where you should be looking. Well, there's 7 different double die obverses that you should also be checking for. And you're not actually paying me to go through a row of coins. You're actually just buying the coins at a very slightly higher than retail price for the coin itself. So the coin itself, you're getting most of your value back in the coin itself. 1955 D roll I do at $3 per coin. You're going to go out to a coin dealer. You're probably going to spend anywhere between $2 and $3 to get one of these coins like this anyway. But in this case, you've got one of the people who wrote the book on Lincoln Cents taking a look through the roll for you and stopping to teach you about what he found as he finds it. And it's a completely fair system as far as I see, because I don't look at the coins before I go through the roll. And I don't put the names into the holders in any particular order. They go in completely random order. So Paul Hampton happened to have run into coin number 46 by the sheer luck of running into coin number 46 because it happened to be drawn. Son of a silver stacker gets coin number 47. This is coin number 47. And he's going to get this one just by the sheer luck that it happened to be sitting in that spot in the roll. So if we get anything really good, I didn't plant it in there. And I certainly didn't plant it in there for him. It just happened to work out that way. Bill, you got 2 more? I think you may have missed one already, buddy. Because we've only got 3 coins left. You may have another one in there. You may have 2 more in there. I don't know, but it's kind of against the odds. Given that there were, I don't know, close to 20 people in this roll. I also handle the coins properly. I don't get them all fingerprinted up or anything. Now you got a 50-50 shot of whether or not you got another spot in the ruler, buddy. I don't know, Bill. I think I may have found all of yours already. Well, thank you, Sharp Eye. I am sometimes told that I do have a good voice. I do sometimes actually use it. Not for anything professional, but rather just to sound goofy. And you too, for the low, low price of $3, could have a spot in this roll. Yeah. A bunch of carbon on these. Don't like carbon on my coins. There's a doubled eyelid. See that little dot inside the eye? That's a doubled eyelid. That's another piece of a secondary eyelid that was hubbed into the coin, offset from where it should have been. So it was offset to the southeast just a little bit. Offset hub doubling is a class 4 hub doubling. It's the same classification of hub doubling as the big doubled ear on the 1984 and the 1997 Lincoln Cents. Given this is a 1955D, I don't think we have this die listed yet, so the nicest coin in this roll will probably come out and become a plate coin. That person will get a plate coin designated flip insert. What did I just do? I did do that. I put it in with the wrong insert. Sorry, number 49. Number 48, Adam Chambers gets this one. That's his coin. Now, number 49. Coin Dragon. That's right, us big guys. Big voice guys. Except you got the really, really northern accent. That's kind of hard to get over when you're trying to do a national TV commercial. Because I remember when Culver's came out with their commercials, those guys are Northern Illinois guys, and they have a really Northern Illinois accent, and it's really, really just hard to get over that. I happen to have been raised in the Midwest, where I have just a general rolling Midwest accent. I don't really have that much of an accent in any particular direction. Part of my upbringing, though, was in Tennessee, and I lived from the age of 8 years old until I graduated high school and went in the military. I was in Tennessee, and I never really noticed that I had a Tennessee accent. However, there is a small clip of me on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather back in August of 1988, and the way I was speaking at the time was very definitely Tennessee. I listen to it now. I mean, that was, gosh, how long ago was that? 88. It's 32 years? 32 years ago. And I was talking to one of their roving reporters at the time, Mark something. Anyhow, he was interviewing me, and I said people were running, screaming, and crying. It was about the air show crash at Ramstein. And I had a very different accent than I do now, that's for sure. I sounded very southern. There's Tim Morrell. Tim Morrell gets coin number 50 in the roll. Mr. Creston, I already did all three of yours. You might have missed them toward the very beginning. Oh my gosh, look at that. There's a beautiful RPM number 4 right there on the very end of the roll. Very, very nice RPM number 4 for Tim Morrell. See, there you go. There's a really good reason right there. I just opened a bank-wrapped roll, went through all 50 coins, and the very, very last coin is a really nice RPM. Not another one in the roll. This is the only one in here, and it's really sweet. It is a relatively common RPM, but they're much more commonly found in circulated condition than in this condition. This is RPM number 4. 1MM004. I'd give this one a value of about $20 in this condition, $15 to $20 in this condition. So for a $3 purchase, this was a hell of a coin. I'll tell you that right now. But I know there's no other doubling on the coin because RPM number 4 is known to be an RPM, and there is no hub doubling on the RPM number 4. But we'll go ahead and we'll look at the rest of the coin just to see what the overall condition of the coin is. From the obverse, it looks like it's a choice to gem uncirculated. Choice to gem BU. It's a full reg coin. It's a beautiful, bright coin with a lot of luster. A lot of luster. Full strike, too. Nice full strike. Might even be able to use this as a plate coin for copper coins if we don't have really good photos of RPM number 4 in late die state, because this one is a late die state model. I'm talking like it's a car and it's a late die state model with rack and pinion power steering, 4-wheel independent suspension, and a leather interior. Busting out of the gates right there, buddy. You got yourself a pretty one. All right, so now sharp eye for coins. This is exactly what we do and why we do it. Tim Morrell just paid $3 for a very nice major RPM from 1955. Nice BU RPM. We could have found 10 of those in the roll, but we only found one. But he got himself a really great deal on a $3 purchase for a $15, $20 coin. And that's how it works. So the rest of the roll wasn't quite so exciting, but I will have to go through it again simply because, well, I ran into a number of little minor things that I'm going to have to look through carefully to be sure I don't miss any of them. Pick all of them up for you guys. Make sure I get everything straight. But there's what I show as normal coins. And then this little stack here is what I show as die varieties. So far, I have found that number 3, number 48, 44, 36, 16, and 4 are all die varieties. They belong to Joe McBride, Robert Adams, Andrew Forbes, Ryan Havoc, Adam Chambers, and Sureg. And the feature coin of the roll was Tim Morrell and that 1955D RPM number 4, and it's number 50. It was the last coin in the roll. I'll flip it around this way so we can read the numbers. I don't know why I keep doing that. I keep doing it in a form where I think I'm having to show the camera like this, and really I should be showing the camera like this. It is what it is. Sometimes I'm not as smart as I look. All right, folks, that's it for this roll. And we're done for another day. You can join me here at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon for the 1957 D roll. It's number 199. We got a 1957 D roll for tomorrow, a 1953 D roll for tomorrow, and a 1951 D roll for probably Sunday. Sunday. And then Tuesday, be sure you join me here on the Copper Coins channel, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesday, we're going to do the colors of fall, where I've got stacks of really nice, beautiful NGC graded toned coins. And I'll tell you now, that's not just Lincoln cents. Got some nickels too that are graded and toned. Beautiful coins. I've got a stack of them. These are my little inventory numbers up here. I'll show you a couple of these coins if I can. Get close enough to get them focused in. Can we focus up close? I guess we can't. It's about as close as we're going to get focused, I guess. Look at the colors. Look at the pretty colors. How about this one? Let me show you this one. This one's going to be a feature coin of the night right here. You guys got time? I'll show it to you. Here you go. Take a look at this. This is a 1939 S. All the colors you see there are real. Yeah, take a look at the reverse here. 1939 S. Came back MS65, red brown. Really, really nice coin. There's a lot of really nice ones I'm going to be offering. Here's a 1934 Philadelphia with beautiful red toning. A 1934 Philly. Isn't that right? Yeah. These things, some of these coins, it looks like somebody just chewed up a box of crayons and threw up all over these coins. Just beautiful. But that's what we've got coming up on Tuesday, the 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. There's going to be probably about 40 or 50 coins in this auction. They will all be toned coins. Not all of them will be Lincoln cents. And then the following week, the 27th, we're going to have cocktails and coins. It's Oktoberfest. And I will have my beverages here ready to go, and we're going to sit and chit-chat about coins and have an auction. It's not going to be the biggest and fastest auction. It's going to be, a few items, but they're going to be very choice items. We're going to have a 1912S RPM number 1 in uncirculated condition. We're going to have two 1909S VDB Lincoln cents. There's going to be at least one or two 1914Ds. I think I've got two 1914Ds. I've got a 09S. I've got some 22Ds. I've got other nice coins in there that we're going to be running for auction. Also some nice, really nice red and red-brown early Lincolns, some of them in gem condition. We're talking about coins made prior to 1934. You won't want to miss either one of these events. If nothing else, at least you might learn something if you watch them. But the first one's going to be coming up this coming Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be the colors of fall. I knew I messed that up if I thought about it. The colors of fall. And then the following Tuesday on the 27th at 8 p.m. we'll be doing the Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest is going to have some really cute looking coins, really valuable coins in there. How did NGC grade these compared to what I was expecting? Well, I'll put it this way. Sent in 100 coins altogether. 87 of them came back graded. So I missed on 13. No, I'm sorry. 83 came back graded, I missed on 17. That's how it worked. So I had expected that 17 of the coins I sent in would be graded, and they were not. Out of the 100 that I sent in to have graded, 17, they decided I was wrong. The other ones, they decided I was correct. I kind of expected the grades were received. I mean, it seems about the same as what I would have expected when I put them in. Oh, Bill, you can drink anything you want, though. You can have ice water. Sometimes I just drink grape juice because I like grape juice. Sometimes I drink iced tea because I like it. But I think this time I might just go get myself some cider and drink some cider because I don't do beer. let me go ahead and shut down my camera. Has anybody got any questions about what's coming up? If anyone has any questions or comments or anything that they would like for me to respond to, I can certainly do that. Now that we happen to be here, everybody's here and all together. How many do we have here right now? Yeah, where's my browser? There it is. What do we got right now? 24 people. Amazing. 24 people watching right now. Thank you very much to all 24 of you who are watching presently. No questions or comments. I think I might just go ahead and take off for the evening and clean up things and hit the sack so I can get up early in the morning and start working on these reveals. I've got to start working on a bunch of stuff for the reveals. Good night, Mr. Fletcher. You have yourself a wonderful night. You too, Kelly Ray. You have a blessed one as well. I guess we'll see you guys around the bend. I'll be doing another one of these at 1 p.m. tomorrow. 1 p.m. tomorrow Eastern Time. Be sure you're here. I'll talk to you later.